Yeah, what that is a really great example of trying to have your cake and eat it too. But generally speaking, Trump says, I'm not interested in defenses like it was a small thing and it happened a long time ago. I'm interested in actual guilt and actual innocence. And all I can say, this is again Trump from earlier today, all I can say is that my best guess right now is that Biden is actually innocent. What a surprise, right? But that doesn't mean Reade is lying. Again, having your cake and eating it too. Again, this is just my best guess, but the totality of what I've read about Reade leads me to believe that Biden perhaps treated her in a typically Biden-esque way once. That is, he put her arm around her shoulder, kissed her on the head or something similar. This bothered Reade, but it wasn't sexual assault, and she didn't report it that way when it happened. But over the years, the incident grew in her mind until eventually the story gelled into what it is, what she says today, that Biden pushed her against the wall and stuck his hand up her dress. Along the way, she told various friends and family about the incident, but without including much of the way particulars. Both Trump and Collins emphasize that perhaps the women in question believe she's telling the truth, the poor thing, obviously, but they know better. It's really kind of almost more insulting than just saying flat out, I don't believe you, because it's like, I believe you in a way, but you're also too stupid to remember the time that you were sexually assaulted, and I know it better. I know your story better than you, is essentially what that means. So, yeah, it's really kind of incredible. So you got Brett Stevens, he's a New York Times columnist, wrote this in September 2018. I believe that Pelosi has yet to offer definitive evidence of what she alleges. Notes taken by her therapist that an unnamed man loosely fitting Kavanaugh's description are marginally corroborative but not dispositive. The same goes for the polygraph exams, which is why they are rarely admissible as evidence in court. I believe human memory is imperfect. I believe it deteriorates over time. I believe most of us have had the experience of thinking we remember something clearly, only to discover we got the important details wrong. These arguments essentially, they all boil down to one thing. She remembers it this way. He says it never happens. Memory sure is a funny thing. And then the aspiring vice presidential candidate Stacey Abrams, she defended Biden this week in which she falsely claimed that the New York Times did a deep investigation in which they found the accusations were not credible. All these arguments refuse to grapple with the available corroborating evidence. They don't discount that. Or they don't count that. Like the fact that she has way more sources of corroboration than Christine Blasey Ford ever did. They bemoan the lack of hard evidence, although it is kind of unclear what could possibly satisfy that requirement apart from video miraculously taken at that moment, while refusing to grapple with the corroboration that does exist. They can't handle it. They just can't handle it. They very much want to believe that this man they've staked their hopes on is innocent, so that's precisely what they're going to do. And that's going to be really to the detriment of really all their credibility and all their kind of hopes in really having people take them seriously in the future. So that's going to be something they're going to have to deal with. Anyway, we now take a turn into some semi-good news as families across the U.S. struggle to pay for necessities during the coronavirus pandemic and the corresponding economic shutdown, and intensifying calls being directed at Congress to cancel rent, mortgage, and utility payments in tandem with a full moratorium on evictions and shutoffs until the crisis is over. It makes a lot of sense to me. As part of this movement, the parent-led group Parents Together Action presented 600,000 petition signatures gathered after conducting 1,200 survey of 1,200 families from across the country about whether they could pay their utility bills. So let's just say I hope that movement is able to find success. And I think it'd be really, really cool if some major politicians, the Squad and Bernie, come in and support that sometime in the future. So that's definitely something I think to keep an eye out on. But I do want to get to this article talking about the coronavirus here by Samantha Grasso, talking about how she actually lives in this is really kind of a crazy story. She writes, I live in a suburban city north of Austin called Round Rock, which, yes, is named after a big round rock in the ground. I actually grew up in Round Rock and lived in Austin for college, and then a few years after. But as in other cities, the rent in Austin is too damn high, so after many years of paying too much to live in small rundown spaces, I moved out. I now live in Round Rock in a house with several roommates. most of them animals. Round Rock is home to Dell Computers and the donuts that they show on the Travel Channel, but I know that to the untrained mind, Round Rock sounds like Grand Prairie or White Settlement or Gun Barrel City, other cities in Texas that I'm sure are more than what their names imply, but sound country to anyone else. Like, if you hear Round Rock as like kind of like a city person, I guess you're like, Round Rock, that's like a cowboy shooting a gun off the top of a very high rock and his horse prances in the air or whatever. Every July 4th, Round Rock hosts an official celebration of the Old Settlers Park, which involves a reenactment of an 1878 gun battle between the Texas Rangers and a train robber. The robber died, which I guess is kind of a long way of saying we celebrate Independence Day with an annual reenactment of a guy getting shot. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, so last Friday, one of my roommates, my cousin, came home to find this notice posted to our door. Dear resident, address, blank, blank, blank. Round Rock Code Enforcement observed the following on 4/24/20. Tall grass or weeds. Pretty much just saying, cut your lawn. So pretty much they're saying they have too many tall grass or weeds is really what it is. I've gotten complaints from our homeowners association before for leaving the garbage totes on top of the driveway for too long, or for falsely, might I add, having indistinguishable house numbers. But this wasn't a letter from the HOA. It was a Round Rock Code Enforcement. So pretty much what it looks like is kind of like a bookmark style thing that was like taped to this person's door, and it's like, please cut your lawn. Jesus Christ, what a hellscape! What an absolute hellscape some of these suburban things are. Like I just put a big statue of a middle finger up in my lawn, or a blow up middle finger. Yeah. And I love how they even gave her a date as well. This is Samantha Grasso on Discourse blog. I looked down to the bottom of the notice and saw the names of what I presume to be 4 police officers, one of them circled as the person who slapped the notice on the door, which I have cropped out for legal reasons. Officers! What are cops doing issuing notices about grass being too high? What was a cop doing driving through my neighborhood in search of code violations in the middle of a pandemic? Like, aren't there people to, like, go deliver masks to? The person who left the notice on the door apparently was not a cop, but a code enforcement officer, which, according to Wikipedia, is a baby cop or someone with a toy sheriff's deputy badge. Fire marshals and health safety inspectors are code enforcement officers, as are the 4 people in charge of following through with reported code enforcement violations in Round Rock, including grass being too high. I did more Googling and saw that a failure to, quote, mow tall grass and weeds on entire premises would result in the city hiring a contractor to do it for me and then charging me for it. I rent my house, but we're in charge of the lawn, so I suppose that fee would fall to us too. So perhaps I will mow my lawn before May 1st, but I still have many questions. Why the hell are code enforcers called officers, and especially why the hell are they listed as that on the notice? Like, really, Jesus, like, let people, like, this is such a stupid thing of people being like, cut your lawn. Like, that is a incredibly obnoxious, crazy story there from Samantha Grasso. I don't like it. Anyway, now we get to the final story of the day. Tesla on Wednesday reported a steep drop in net income in the first quarter compared with the previous quarter as the coronavirus pandemic disrupted the electric car makers' operations in the United States and China, the largest two markets. Elon Musk and the company's chief executive said the company would continue to face difficulties as long as it was forced to keep its plant in Fremont, California, closed under the state's stay-at-home order. We were a bit worried about when we were able to resume production in the Bay Area, said Musk on a conference call with reporters. He went on to say the stay-at-home order was, quote, fascist and amounted to forcibly imprisoning people in their homes against all their constitutional rights. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's like, oh, what an idiot. Like, what is this guy doing? I just don't get it. Like, they're breaking people's freedoms in ways that are wrong and are not why people came here or built this country. Like, it's like you do understand like the principle of staying home and stopping the spread as something that like you need to do to like, I don't know, keep people alive to a large degree. Like that is kind of a thing that needs to happen. Like just a thought there. Yeah, but still, it's just really some kind of crazy stuff. But it's really also kind of disturbing. That like you have this guy in charge of such a company. I don't get how like the incentive of like isn't there some board who's like, you're getting in the way of our making money here, like, because this guy is just so dumb. Like Tesla makes really good cars. They do. Like it's just a fact. I didn't want to believe it because I hate Elon Musk, but that is a fact. They make good cars, and he shouldn't be the CEO. Anyway, I guess he has to be, but still, Elon Musk. Daily reminder: please shut up. That's our show for today. We're back tomorrow. It's Newsflash.